The art scene in Birmingham, Alabama proves that self-expression is one of the most powerful things we have to change a community. The history of Birmingham tells a story of a community coming together to rise above injustice and prejudice, to create an atmosphere that fosters creativity, inclusivity, and diversity. Established in 2016, Blank Space is a mural project in downtown Birmingham that, according to their mission statement, seeks to reclaim public space, strengthen communities, foster creativity, and advocate for the redevelopment of inclusive urban environments.
For me, the interest has always been in again, that concept of intervening into space, of making sure that as citizens we recognize that we're not passive to our environment around us, that we are shaped by where we live, but also we have the power to shape it. And I think lots of times, right when we started is kind of at the heartbeat of when this resurgence and this regeneration started downtown, and recognizing, well, we have to make sure that everyone has a seat at this table, and it's not just a bunch of boutique hotels and things like that, which is great. The economy needs that, but creating a space for people to be reflected there that have lived in Birmingham for a long time, or maybe haven't, but just having opportunities to be like, you know what, that's cool. I love Birmingham. I love being from here. The need came from having conversations with artists, but community members of not a shame, but of a sense of like, I never go downtown, and just wanting to create reasons to be like, no, downtown is good. We need to be downtown.
The Eyes mural on 1st Avenue North and 39th Street is one of Blank Space's most unique murals.
It was basically about seeing things in color, right? And how lots of times we look at our landscapes as very black and white of it is what it is, but being able to look at a place and see it for more, and to recognize the potential that it has to kind of, I don't know, I almost think of it as looking at things through a lens of hope, and more understanding and more possibility for a brighter future, as cliche as that is. Street art rose from a graffiti culture, which was completely rebellious, which was completely about the things that I've been saying about intervening into space, but much more oftentimes for a more personal reason. So whether it be territorial and you're tagging something, or just all those negative connotations, but street art really rose from that practice in the sense of saying, okay, well, I'm an artist, I'm also a writer in terms of tagging. Let's make this a bit more legit. So going out and trying to do bigger pieces, and from those kind of cultures, those things came. And public art has always been riding right alongside that. Public art, comes way before street art, because you can classify memorials as public art. You can classify, I don't like any sort of landmark, statues, sculptures as public art. And I think that's kind of a bit of the difference, is that lots of times public art has permission to be there, and street art necessarily doesn't. Art for me is the medium to create social change and to build community. And if that means that I'm working with artists that get their work out and they get paid, then awesome, great for them. But at the end of the day, my goal is to build opportunities of connection between people that maybe before wouldn't have been connected. We're an innovative city. I think, we're right on the cusp of being right up there with a lot of different cities across the US in terms of entrepreneurship and technology. That if we can balance that with a creative community, that it only enriches each other. So if we can help people be creative thinkers and creative problem solvers by having art, even if it's just in the background, and whether that's for the benefit of our tech sector, for us growing as an economy, but even as simple as like someone just wants to paint the wall of a community center, and it's the community center that their mom went to and they've grown up going to after school every day, and they just wanted a reminder that somebody cared, you know, that something mattered. And I think that's a big thing for me, is saying it can be all of these things. It can mean so much to one person that just is like, I've never seen that space that way before, and isn't that nice? And they could never see it again. Or it could change somebody's life because they see somebody painting and they're like, that looks like fun, I would love to do that. Or, you know, it's a portrait of someone, maybe it's a civil rights leader, or maybe it's just anybody, and they see someone that looks like them on that wall, and it reminds them that they have a place here. So I think it could do a lot to build community in terms of very practically of executing the project, of coming together to paint it, of having a voice in what it would look like, but also on a more zoomed out scale of influencing who invests here and who wants to make their headquarters here because it's a cool place, and so now we're going to pour resources into it. Lofty goals, but I think, you know, at the background of everything, art could really change it all. And I think as a city, if we can show that we prioritize and we value art, then it'll be easier for other people to say we value art. I think it's really as simple as that.